I think it's now in the final stages in Parliament. There were some amendments that were carried out last week, and I'm confident that in the first quarter of next year, we should have a startups bill that will address all the concerns you have said about the digital ecosystem and the innovators in that space and how we will support them to experience the journey towards being serious companies.
That would be excellent. And my final question, in the interest of time, we're looking at the global environment, the changing global environment. And one of the sectors that is affected a lot when the supply chains are affected by wars and all other logistics is the manufacturing. And we are feeling the pain as manufacturers because of all those changes. And I'm just wondering, thinking about the people who ask this question, what are we doing as government, and how could we work together with you much closer to really address some of the pains that the manufacturing sector is feeling with all the changes that are happening globally and also locally, and especially with our regulatory environment, which has always been a challenge. I'm so glad to hear about with the KRA and the issue of VAT, but there's a lot of regulatory issues that are really affecting the manufacturers today. And if we are going to move our manufacturing from 7% to the 15% as envisioned in Vision 2030, something has to change drastically.
I agree. Something has to change drastically. And it has to start with the manufacturers themselves. I'm sorry to say this. We must change the way we view manufacturing. Manufacturing cannot be importing everything from somewhere and then coming to paint it here and call it manufacture. Surely, that cannot be. There is a statement that was said by Betty, your chairman. He said, we have 5 containers. For every 5 containers that come from abroad, only one goes back with manufactured goods. That means, I don't know whether Kenya Association of Manufacturers or we register Kenya Association of Importers. Because we seem to be doing more importing than manufacturing. So we actually need to have a conversation on the subject of manufacturing. You know, I was very surprised that when we put a tariff on importation of clinker, there was a complaint by so many people. And then you ask yourself, I mean, surely, do we need to continue importing clinker when we can manufacture clinker in Kenya? President Trump has promised to put tariffs to support American manufacturing. Every country protects their manufacturing space. I was very surprised when we said, why do we have to continue importing sanitary pads? You know, it's a very delicate subject to discuss. When we can manufacture sanitary pads here in Kenya, surely. And the biggest people who are complaining, I don't know, let me not say who are complaining. I did expect our manufacturing entities to say, protect our manufacturing so that, and we are not protecting inefficiency. We are giving them space to grow, and they must be competitive. And we are not closing down, we are not providing incentives for one company or 2 or 3. It must be, there must be enough companies to compete so that we also get good quality products. So, Caro, if there is one thing we must sit and discuss, and I am prepared, is to engage our manufacturers in a conversation that is going to give me the opportunity to understand and to know what I need to do to make sure that we are manufacturing more in Kenya. I am ready for that conversation. And I am ready to make whatever decision that has to be made to promote locally produced products in Kenya. Because That is the way we are going to create. That is the way we are going to create jobs. That is the way we are going to create wealth, as Anyang said. If we use local products, local raw materials, whether it is for clinker, whether it's for steel, whether it is for leather, whether it is for textile, you know, because we are exporting a lot of textile products from Kenya. We're among the largest importers to the US. But unfortunately, we are importing cotton from elsewhere. And that is why I have a very robust plan and program we have rolled out on cotton manufacturing in Kenya. I am happy. I had a conversation with Professor Anyang on what we are doing around the cotton space, the governor of Busia, the governor of Elgeyo Marakwet, and all the other cotton-producing counties, because it cannot be the case that we are importing even products that we have raw materials to produce in Kenya. Caro, I mean, it's just the right thing to do. And please, the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, I am open. I'm ready to have the first meeting with the Kenya Association of Manufacturers in January. We can start the first meeting in January so that we can all agree how we are going to move things into the future.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I think we'll make sure that that meeting happens, and